Pharmacy Group. With a location in West Bay and professional pharmacy at CTMH Doctors Hospital, the Cayman Pharmacy Group has a location for you just around the corner. Seaboard Marine. With over 35 shipping ports, find your shipping solution by calling 949-4977 or visit seaboardmarine.com for competitive rates. Coca-Cola. Available across the Cayman Islands from Tortuga Distributors. Accept no substitutes. Taste the feeling with Coca-Cola. Brand Source Home Gallery. Inspiring luxury. And Fidelity Bank. Fidelity. We're good for you.
Also brought to you by Ropers Enterprises. 122 Industrial Way. Products and services for better public health. Green Turtle. Take a ride on the Green Turtle Express today. Download the Green Turtle app, the future of mobile, saving lives today. And the Ministry of Commerce, Planning and Infrastructure. Visit energy.gov.ky/competition to win a home energy makeover worth up to $20,000.
This is For the Record with Ort Connor.
Coming to you live from Radio Cayman Studio.
For the record.
For the record. For the record. Hear from your government officials, independents, and the opposition on issues that matter to you.
For the record.
Engage in an open dialogue between residents and lawmakers.
For the record.
For the record. For the record.
Informative, impartial, insightful.
This is your talk show.
1-800-534-8255. Your calls, your input. This is For the Record. And now, your host, Ort Connor.
Good morning and welcome to For the Record. Today is Wednesday, the 25th day of November 2020. I hope and I trust that everyone had an enjoyable, peaceful, restful evening. Those of you who are on the roads of the Cayman Islands, we urge you to please be extremely cautious. Ensure that you observe the rules of the road, whether you're a pedestrian, a cyclist, operating any type of motorized vehicle on the roads of the Cayman Islands. If you observe the rules of the road, then the life that you save may be your own. For those of you who are celebrating a birthday today, we want to wish you a happy birthday. If you celebrated one over the past few days, a belated happy birthday as well. Those of you who are not feeling well, maybe suffering from some sort of illness, hospitalized or at home, we want to wish you a speedy recovery as well. And those of you who have lost loved ones over the past few days or few weeks, again, we want to extend our sincere condolences to you. And we hope and we trust that your faith will help to carry you through these very challenging times. Folks, I want to thank you for allowing Radio Cayman and by extension For the Record into your homes, into your vehicles, as you traverse the busy roads of the Cayman Islands into your places of work, wherever that may be. As you know, For the Record is a show produced by the staff and the management of Radio Cayman, and it is geared towards keeping you abreast of issues as they arise and play out on the local, regional, and international scene. I'm your host, Ort Connor, and you're welcome to join me every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 7:30 a.m. until 10 a.m. During that period, our phone lines are open. There's always someone there waiting to take your calls, as usual. 9 times out of 10, it is that beautiful radio voice of Miss Susan Watson. You can call us on our toll-free number, provided courtesy of Flow, that toll-free number, 1-800-534-8255. You can also call us on 949-8037 and at 949-6990. If you don't like to talk on the telephone, email us at For the Record, one word, For the Record at candw.ky. WhatsApp us, 925-3261, where you can send us a text message or leave us a voice note, the contents of which will be played during the course of the show. And of course, you can follow us on YouTube simply by subscribing to Radio Cayman live stream. This morning, Mr. Kenneth Bryan will be in the studio with us. He has also shared some of his time with a group groups who are doing extremely important and humanitarian work in the Cayman Islands for their countrymen. And before I introduce them, I just want to talk about the situation in Central America and Then we're going to be talking about how you can help those who are providing aid in Central America following Iota and Eta. And there's an article that talks about the combined impact from Hurricane Iota and Hurricane Eta, two of the strongest hurricanes to ever strike Central America, have resulted in a humanitarian crisis in the coastal regions. On top of being the strongest storm system of the 2020 Atlantic season, Iota also struck the exact same area that Eta had inundated just 2 weeks earlier. The back-to-back blow triggered widespread flooding and further complicated the conditions that have led to deadly landslides, stranded communities, and contaminated drinking water for millions. With millions in several countries affected by the pair of major hurricanes, the need for organized aid and relief from groups around the world is higher than ever. And there are organizations that are assisting, and one of the organizations here in the Cayman Islands is called the 2020 Nicaraguan Disaster Relief. So in the studio with us this morning, we have Miss Stephanie Catt, who's the vice chairperson of the 2020 Nicaragua Disaster Relief, Mr. Carl Solomon, who is the chair, and we also have in the studio with us Mr. Alberto Bryan Jr. as well. But what I will do this morning is I will give each individual an opportunity to introduce themselves, starting with you, Mr. Solomon.
Good morning. Good morning. My name is Carl Solomon, and currently I'm the chair for the 2020 Nicaraguan Disaster Relief Group. I'm here, wanting to get the public to understand the situation in Nicaragua and the dire need that they need help right now. So just want to bring that to focus here with the Caymanian public. What's going on over there?
Okay, Mr. Bryan.
Good morning, Cayman Islands. My name is Alberto Bryan Jr. I am representing a group called Cayman United for San Andres, Providence, and Santa Catalina. That is Cayman United for San Andres, Providence, and Santa Catalina. I'd just like to thank God for blessing us with life. I'd also like to thank Mr. Kenneth Bryan, representative for Georgetown Central, for allowing me this opportunity to take up some of his time. And I'd also like to thank Radio Cayman and For the Record. And when I'm given the chance, I'd like to share some more information as to the efforts that we're trying to do here.
And you certainly will be given that chance. Ms. Catt?
Yes, my name is Stephanie Catt. I am from Puerto Cabeza, Nicaragua, and currently I am the vice chair of the organization, of the group we formed, 2020 Nicaraguan Disaster Relief, and I am here to try to get the right way how we can get some monetary donations for the urgent relief for Nicaragua to the people who have been affected by the Hurricane Eta and Iota in the Caribbean coast of Nicaragua.
Okay. And I want to say good morning to Mr. Kenneth Bryan. Sir, how are you?
Not too bad, OC. Good morning to your listening audience.
Few opening words from you with
yes.
you as well.
It's a pleasure to be here again this Wednesday. And as you can tell, we have some special guests here to talk about some very important matters before we get into all the political stuff later on in the show about 8:30. But I want to focus our efforts on those who are in need, our distant relatives, friends, and family in Colombia, San Andres, Nicaragua, and Honduras. So I want to take the first part of the show to talk about that. And as you heard, these lovely folks will be able to give us more details of how you can help. So we'll talk about the rest of the political stuff after they've done their part.
Okay, we're going to take a commercial break. When we return, we will get right into the meat of the conversation, advising persons exactly how they can assist in this humanitarian crisis that Central America is facing. So, folks, please stay tuned for the record. We'll be back shortly.
The Cayman Islands boasts of a long, colorful, and rich history. In tribute to our roots, Radio Cayman, the voice of the Cayman Islands, is pleased to bring you the Historical Vignette Series, brought to you by Rotary Central. For more than 110 years, Rotary members have used their passion, energy, and intelligence to take action on sustainable projects. The Cayman Islands, He hath founded it upon the seas.
In 1773, George Gall spent 10 days in and around Grand Cayman, creating the Hydrographic Survey of Grand Cayman based on the first survey made by the Royal Navy and what is now well known as the Gall Map. For 17 years, from 1764 to 1781, George Gall, a Scots surveyor, charted the waters of the Gulf Coast off British West Florida. Along with approximating the population at around 450 persons, Gall made several other observations, including that the inhabitants may truly be said to live in a state of nature. The women are numerous, and those who are natives of the island have a modesty in their looks and a decency in their behavior, not always to be met with between in the tropics. George Gall was elected to the American Philosophical Society in 1774, and his surveyor's tools and his map appear on the stamp of the Cayman Islands issued in 1989.
Radio Cayman's Historical Vignettes was brought to you by Rotary Central. For more than 110 years, Rotary members have used their passion, energy, and intelligence to take action on sustainable projects.
Rotary Central Music Extravaganza tickets. They're flying out the window. Get your tickets now from Rotary Central members, Rotary ticket sellers, online at eventpro.ky, Funky Tangs, A.L. Thompson's Home Depot, The Bar at Mango Tree Restaurant, Sievert's Bar on Eastern Avenue, or on Cayman Brac from the Rotary Club of Cayman Brac and Tishara Lewis, or from Barcam on the Run in Red Bay and gas stations island-wide. Get ready to be a winner with your chance to win $40,000 or a second prize of $4,000. And there are 6 $1,000 prizes and more. Do you have your golden ticket for the golden chance? Rotary Central and the Music Extravaganza 2020, supporting over 70 Rotary community projects. Rotary Central, not-for-profit number 232. Your ticket for your chance and your contribution to a better community through Rotary. Remember, Rotary. It opens opportunities.
Fidelity Bank would like to thank all essential workers. We salute your efforts and thank you for the sacrifices you've made to keep us all safe. During these challenging times we're facing, our top priority is the health and safety of the communities we serve. And while it's true that things are changing rapidly every day, one thing that will never change is our commitment to giving you the best and sound financial solutions to help you during and after the coronavirus pandemic. At Fidelity Bank, our focus will always be you. Fidelity, we're good for you.
Stronger, wider, higher, lighter. The all-new Ford Ranger Raptor. Powerfully built with a 2.0 diesel Panther engine and 210 horsepower. Modern with leather interior and 8-inch touchscreen, Sync 3 technology and power features. Tough, built to handle the off-road with 4-wheel drive, terrain modes, and 10-speed automatic transmission. Coming early October to Vamped Motors, Walkers Road. To find out more and to test drive the bold new Ford Ranger Raptor, visit Vamped Motors, Walkers Road, or call 949-8288.
Did you know the third most important factor for customer retention is cleanliness? With 95% of shoppers saying exterior appliance influences where they decide to shop. Keep your business clean with Roper's Janitorial. From offices to restaurants, interior and exterior, walls to rugs and flooring. Roper's cleans it all, including 24-hour emergency service. Roper's Janitorial, 949-2511, or email janitorial@ropers.ky. Dress your business for success with Roper's Janitorial. We make your business shine. 949-2511. Roper's, providing products and services for better public health.
Hi, I'm remodeling our bathroom. I have a few questions.
Sure.
What are some ideas to make my bathroom feel larger? How do I know if I'm picking the right vanity? How do I choose a new toilet or a new countertop? Also, the lighting is terrible. Can I put a window or a skylight? And do I really need an exhaust fan?
You've come to the right place. At Brand Source, we custom design kitchen and baths, and our talented design team can help answer your questions. Whether you're looking for a modern, functional family bathroom or a luxurious personal retreat, we'll help create that beautiful space that makes your home yours. And if you're in a rush for a new look and have a limited budget, our ready-to-install bathroom vanities, built with solid wood and countertops of the finest materials, are a quick and easy remodeling solution.
For the very best in custom-designed kitchens and baths, visit Brand Source Home Gallery on Dorsey Drive, Industrial Park, Cayman's Kitchen and Bath Center.
You are listening to Radio Cayman, the voice of the Cayman Islands. System 1 loaded.
1-800-534-8255. What is on your mind when it comes to the government, independence, and the opposition? Issues that matter to you. 1-800-534-8255. Waiting to hear from you. For the Record.
This is For the Record with Ort Connor.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. We're discussing the relief efforts to countries in Central America following the devastation of 2 hurricanes this year. A conversation is taking place with MLA Mr. Kenneth Bryan, Ms. Stephanie Catt, Mr. Carl Solomon, and Mr. Alberto Bryan Jr. Over to you, Mr. Bryan. Kenneth Bryan.
Thanks again, OC, and thanks again to your listening audience. I'm only going to say a short few words and allow these persons to have their opportunity to talk to you about this very important drive that they're doing for the 2 countries. As we all here as Caymanians and persons who've become Caymanian remember what happened in 2004 with Hurricane Ivan. And if we check our memories and flash back to that, times that by 2, because that's what these countries are going through. As we know, 2 major hurricanes, not just regular tropical storms or regular hurricanes, major hurricanes have hit these countries and caused devastation like I've never seen before. Because one hurricane is one thing, but having it come right back to back without even being fully recovered, some 10 or 11 days after the other, is just mind-blowing. I praise God every day for the opportunity to be here in Cayman, that we're safe. But there's many families, kids, grandparents, people that you may have seen here in the Cayman Islands that have moved back home because of rollover, or extended family members of Caymanians that are over there, and they really need our help. Outside of even the kind of family connection, the human connection, we are responsible for our brothers and sisters, and they really need our help. So these 2 groups here this morning is going to tell you how we can do that. Obviously, we're talking about the 3 main countries, Nicaragua, San Andres, Colombia, and Honduras. Honduras representatives are not here this morning, so I'll have them on another show. But I would like to just pass it over now to how you can assist, particularly with that of San Andres, with Mr. Alberto Bryan. He'll give you all the details of what you need to know and how we're going to go about this. So, Mr. Alberto, you can take over.
Thank you, Mr. Kenneth. As mentioned, my name is Alberto Bryan Jr. Some of you may know me as Albertito. Some of you may know me as Albertico. But I represent the group called Cayman United for San Andres, Providence, and Santa Catalina. Just to give you a quick background, last week, on Tuesday, about 100 Colombian citizens residing here in Cayman, we got together and we decided that we wanted to form a group, and the group was formed based on this motto: together, everyone can achieve more. And I'd just like to answer a few questions before I go into any details as to what we're looking for. But I'm pretty sure the audience will be asking these questions. Why have we formed this group? This is a disaster relief effort. We have immediate goals, short-term goals, and long-term goals. We want to make sure that the items that will be leaving from Cayman going on to San Andres, Providence, and Santa Catalina, we want to make sure that they're fairly distributed, that all the families will receive items. So right now we're in discussions with various church leaders from various denominations in the islands who will be in charge of distributing these items. Who is this serving? This is serving the people of San Andres, Providence, and Santa Catalina who have been affected. And the impact here that we're trying to achieve is actually, I'm going to focus on the immediate goals in the essence of time, but the immediate goals are twofold. We'd like to provide essential items, and we'd like to send a team of 15 Colombian citizens with construction experience or medical experience to help out with the rebuilding of our islands. Some of the essential items that we need, just to name a few, are tarps for covering roofs. We need tar paper nails. Those are the ones with the plastic on it. We need blow-up beds. We need over-the-counter medicine. We also need PPE, construction, and for COVID-19, i.e. steel-toe shoes, construction gloves, mask, hand sanitizer. And in addition to that, we're also asking for Christmas gifts for children, because let's face it, while the people in those islands have lost physical items, they have also been affected psychologically. And we'd like to take off some of the burden off of the parents by offering them some Christmas gifts just before Christmas. Our mission is humanitarians uniting in Cayman and taking action to help the people of San Andres, Providence, and Santa Catalina rebuild their physical and mental lives after Hurricane Iota has left the island in a deplorable state. We'd like to fairly provide aid to the people by providing them with essential needs. Persons wanting to make financial contributions, that is financial contributions, can call Mrs. Britton at 939-6879. That is Miss Britton, 939-6879. Persons that would like to donate physical items can call Mrs. Rita Ebanks at 916-2013, 916-2013, or Mr. Jose Venner, 329-5943. That is 329-5943. Or Miss Amanda Castaneda at 516-3561. That is 516-3561. If you would like to drop off items, you can do so by dropping them off at the All United Church in Swamp, or the plaza behind the Rubens gas station on Eastern Avenue. That is the plaza across from Blue Marlin, just behind the Rubens gas station. The reason why, and I think it's relevant that I note this, the reason why we have separated financial donations from physical donations or physical items is we want this to be as transparent as possible, and we want to make sure that we account for every dollar, every cent that is donated for this effort. In our treasury team, we have 2 chartered professional accountants and 2 pastors who will be signatories and will be assisting Mrs. Britton in the treasury department. To kind of put things into perspective, I know Mr. Kenneth did a wonderful job as to what Hurricane Iota has done to these islands. I'd like to compare Cayman to these islands, and I would also like to give you guys one of the stories that we received firsthand from one of our executives in our group. I guess I'll probably start off with the story, right? So we have a Mr. Lenny Huffington who is heading up our logistics department, but his daughter, along with her 2 kids, a 1-year-old child and a 4-year-old child, she was with her husband and her mother-in-law. During the storm, they lost their roof and they had to seek refuge in their cistern. Now, most of the cisterns down in San Andres and Providence are built above ground, right? So they got into the cistern. The cistern's probably filled with 3 to 5 foot of water. You know, they have these children, one that is a 1-year-old, one that is a 4-year-old. And on Monday, they were trapped in the cistern by all the debris that had fallen, trees and stuff, and they could not escape. They were trapped there until Wednesday. So you have kids, parents, and grandparents that are trapped in a cistern that are wet, not only from the rain from the storm, but from being in a cistern. And as God would have it, He allowed the team there that the president sent, their search and rescue team, to be able to find them on Wednesday. So that is one of the stories that of many more that I have that we've gotten from down there. So these people have been through a horrific time, and they really need our help at this time. Comparing the 2 islands, as Kenneth mentioned, you know, in 2004 we experienced Ivan here. But I'd just like to say that in the Cayman Islands, most people here have access to a bank loan. So we're able to go to the bank and we can apply for a bank loan to either mortgage a home or get a construction loan. And that allows us to build strong and houses that are effective against hurricanes. However, in San Andres and Providence, these people do not have the ability to go to a bank and borrow funds. So they have to get by with their monthly income, which is an average of about $500 to $700 per month. They have to then use those funds to build houses. So they normally cut corners when they're building those houses. Therefore, their houses will be subpar. So, yes, those of us that were here remember Ivan, remember the damage that it caused. But just think about our houses compared to the houses in St. Andrews and Providence. And just think about, Iota was a Cat 5 and Ivan was a Cat 5. This is Ivan times 100 for Providence, St. Andrews, and Catalina. So I'm asking that everyone here in Cayman will help us in this effort. As I mentioned before, our motto is together, everyone can achieve more. And everything counts at this moment, folks. So please, help us as much as you can. Thank you.
Mr. Alberto Bryan Jr., thank you very much for that. We've reached the top of the hour, 8 o'clock news. When we return, we still have a minute.
Roberto, can you repeat some numbers for people to call?
Yeah, repeat those numbers first.
It's important that people have access to that. So just repeat the numbers if they want to help for San Andreas. The numbers to call
names and the numbers. I think we started.
Real quickly, so Mrs. Britton, 939-6879. That's financial contribution. Mrs. Rita Ebanks, 916-2013. Jose Venner, 329-5943. And Amanda Castaneda, 516-3561 for physical items that would like to be donated.
Do we have a first name for Mrs. Britton?
Dione Britton.
Dione Britton. Okay. Ms. Susan, ready for us now, folks? Please stay tuned for the record. We'll be back immediately after the 8 o'clock news.
Thank you, Mr. Connor. And studio time by Price Right is 8 o'clock.
Price Right's Black Friday sale has come early. It's on now.
Don't wait another week. Get big deals on the biggest TVs, electronics, kitchen appliances, homewares, food, and more.
Find our full Black Friday sale catalog online at PriceRight.ky and follow @PriceRightKman on Facebook and Instagram for our top Black Friday picks.
But these deals won't last. Prices are good until Wednesday, the 25th of November, 2020 at both Price Right Airport Center and Republic's Plaza locations.
Live better for less this Black Friday at Price Right.
The 8 a.m. news is proudly sponsored by the Chamber of Commerce Pension Plan. For further information, please visit chamberpension.ky. The Cayman Islands Chamber of Commerce Pension Plan. We're here for you. Did you know that since May, in support of the COVID-19 Emergency Withdrawal Program, the Chamber Pension Plan leveraged IT and human resources to successfully review over 16,900 member applications, approve over 12,579 applications, and will pay over CI $143 million to our plan members. We are the Cayman Islands Chamber of Commerce Pension Plan, and we're here for you. For further information regarding the Chamber Pension Plan, visit chamberpension.ky. And for information as it happens, follow us on Facebook, LinkedIn, or Instagram. Email admin@pensions.ky or call 745-7630.
Your voice, your choice for today's biggest news.
Radio Cayman, the voice of the Cayman Islands.
With your latest news, I'm Karsley Fuller. The premier members of Cabinet attended the second day of the United Kingdom and British Overseas Territories Joint Ministerial Council meeting on Tuesday. The Honourable Alden McLaughlin says the group discussed how their country's economies have fared during the COVID-19 pandemic and heard an update on Britain's exit from the European Union. Two developers are looking to set up a new distribution line for liquid natural gas in Cayman. Breakers LNG Cayman Limited and Eagle LNG Partners LLC from Jacksonville, Florida, have partnered on a project that hopes to bring liquid natural gas to Grand Cayman via a floating mooring in the Breakers area. While the project is in its early stages, organizers say the aim is for liquid natural gas to be delivered from ship to shore through a marine mooring and land connection, similar to the fuel transshipment process at Jackson Point in Georgetown. The developers say the project plan does not require a port and entails a holding tank to be built in an existing quarry. And doors to a new government-run Children and Family Services home officially opens. More from CIG-TV's Donna Bush.
In her welcome address, DCFS Director Paulinda Mendoza-Williams noted the home's opening coincided with Universal Children's Day.
As a country and government, it is our responsibility to protect the welfare of children. We must establish and promote a rigorous national consciousness to safeguard our children, by highlighting the role that every sector of society has to play.
Operated by the Ministry of Community Affairs through the Department of Children and Family Services, the 8-bed facility will soon house 4 children with special needs from Maple House. The newly renovated residential home will support and house boys and girls up to 17 years old. Now, many government dignitaries, senior civil servants, and invited guests were in attendance and were able to tour Habakkuk House. After the ribbon-cutting ceremony, musical entertainment was provided by the talented members of the Clifton Hunter High School Steel Pan Band.
Now with a check of international news, here's the BBC, which will take us out of the newscast. I'm Karsley Fuller from Radio Cayman's newsroom.
BBC News with Aaron Safir. Ethiopia's Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed has dismissed efforts by foreign countries to bring an end to the fighting in Tigray. He set a deadline of today for the surrender of Tigrayan regional forces, with central government troops set to attack the regional capital Mekele. Witnesses there say Tigrayan troops have surrounded the city to protect it. Reports from northern Kenya say Ethiopian troops have staged a cross-border raid into the town of Mayali, hunting for supporters of a rebel group. Witnesses said neighbourhoods were ransacked and 10 Kenyans dragged away. France says it will introduce a controversial digital tax against tech giants this year. It says companies such as Apple, Amazon and Facebook avoid paying fair taxes in countries where they make massive profits. The Trump administration sees the tax as unfair and is threatening more levies on luxury French products. China has rebuked India for banning more Chinese-made apps, calling for the decision to be reversed. The Chinese Foreign Ministry spokesman accused India of using security concerns as a pretext. Delhi has banned scores of Chinese apps, including TikTok. Thousands of protesters are gathered in the Thai capital Bangkok to take part in the latest demonstration against the monarchy and military-backed government. Riot police have been deployed and roads blocked with shipping containers. Concern is growing over an Iranian-Swedish academic who was sentenced to death by Tehran 3 years ago on charges of spying. Ahmadreza Jalili says he is now in solitary confinement ahead of a move to another prison, which is often the prelude to an execution in Iran. Stockholm says it's working to prevent his death. The Duchess of Sussex, Meghan Markle, has revealed she suffered a miscarriage in July. Writing in the New York Times, the former TV actress said that the loss of a child caused almost unbearable grief, experienced by many but talked about by few.
The 8 a.m. news is proudly sponsored by the Chamber of Commerce Pension Plan. For further information, please visit chamberpension.ky. The Cayman Islands Chamber of Commerce Pension Plan. We're here for you. We are a not-for-profit, member-centric plan with a democratically elected volunteer board of trustees representing all sectors of the Cayman Islands economy. We have an all-in expense ratio of less than 1%, over 20,000 members, and $490 million in assets under management. We were the first multi-employer pension plan approved by the regulator in the late 1990s, and today we are still strong, secure, and are here for our employees and employers alike. If you would like to join or require further information, visit chamberpension.ky. And for information as it happens, follow us on Facebook, LinkedIn, or Instagram. Email admin@pensions.ky or call 745-7630. The Cayman Islands Chamber of Commerce Pension Plan. We're here for you.
Stay in touch with Radio Cayman for the latest in news and information.
Follow Radio Cayman on social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Download the Radio Cayman app or log on to our website, www.radiocayman.gov.ky.
Radio Cayman, your voice, your choice, your radio.
Over 60 years ago, we started as an insurance company to put people first. Today, with all of the challenges our world is facing, that mission has never been more important. Britcay is now CG Britcay. And though our name has changed, our purpose hasn't. We are still the same people-first company we've always been. And we're here for you, stronger than ever. CG Britcay.
Digital is not a buzzword, it is a culture. At Digicel, we've made it our mission to enrich your digital lives. That's why we're bringing together more of all the experiences you love. The latest shows, the best of local and international music and radio, live sports, cloud storage, breaking news, HD video chats, and more. Welcome to Digital at Digicel, the Caribbean's fastest mobile network. Digicel, better together.
Kirk Freeport's Black Friday weekend sale is bigger than ever, with up to 70% off an incredible selection of watches, jewelry, and accessories. Even better, Kirk Freeport is giving extended access to the sale all day Thursday through Monday. Find the sale at Bayshore Mall and Cardinal Avenue, or enjoy late night shopping at the Strand until 9 p.m. Get unbeatable discounts from brands including Roberto Coin, Swarovski, Bulgari, Masica, Doves, Ippolita, Lagos, Fossil, and many more. Plus, take an additional 10% off all non-branded sale merchandise. It's Black Friday all weekend at Kirk Freeport. Visit kirkfreeport.com for full details.
Fat Chance, featuring Harriet Vassal as Ma, Giovanni Ebanks as Dexter, Giselle Webb as Corrine, Patrick Lopez as Buddy, Priscilla Pucci as Wiggy, Isaac Rankin as Mr. Fredericks, Jaron Carter as Frederick, Leroy Holness as Wiggy's date, and Radio K-Man's Susan as Mrs. Stanton. Fat Chance. Don't miss Fat Chance on Radio K-Man every Wednesday night at 7:30 p.m. until December the 23rd, with a repeat of each week's episode airing every Saturday at 6:45 p.m. beginning on November 21st and ending on December 26th. A CNCF production, sponsored by Radio K-Man.
During these unprecedented times, Radio Cayman, the voice of the Cayman Islands, is pleased to bring you the Cayman Strong Series. The Cayman Strong Series is brought to you by OnCourse Cayman. Visit oncourse.ky to view a full list of wellness services and their qualified team. OnCourse Cayman, health, wellness, and happiness.
Change your thinking, change your life. Developing your emotional awareness can have profound effects on your life.
As Daniel Goleman said in his book entitled Emotional Intelligence, people who cannot marshal some control over their emotional life fight inner battles that sabotage their ability for focused work and clear thought, whereas people with well-developed emotional skills are more likely to be content and effective in their lives, mastering the habits of mind that foster their own productivity.
Change your thinking, change your life.
Radio Cayman's Cayman Strong Series was brought to you by OnCourse Cayman. Visit oncourse.ky to view a full list of wellness services and their qualified team. OnCourse Cayman, health, wellness, and happiness.
These days, feelings of loneliness, anxiety, stress, and depression can be overwhelming. Just know you are not alone. OnCourse Cayman offers private mental health services for children, teens, adults, and groups. Visit oncourse.ky to view a full list of wellness services and their qualified team. OnCourse Cayman, health, wellness, and happiness.
Plaza, good morning. Let's take a look at the latest weather report. Current temperature is 80 degrees. Relative humidity is 85%. The barometric pressure, 29.99 inches and rising. The wind is out of the east at 9 knots. Overnight low temperature was 77 degrees. Synopsis indicate moderate to fresh northeasterly winds and rough seas will continue across the area in association with a high-pressure system over the eastern United States. Radar images show isolated showers in and around the Cayman area moving towards the southwest. Now, the forecast for today calling for partly cloudy skies with a 20% chance of showers, and temperatures will be in the upper 80s today. Winds will be east to northeast at 15 to 20 knots. Seas will be moderate to rough with wave heights of 4 to 6 feet. Small craft should exercise caution over open water for today and tonight as well. Now, the forecast for tonight, pretty much the same, partly cloudy skies with a 30% chance of showers and temperatures dipping to the mid-70s tonight. Your winds will be east to northeast at 15 to 20 knots. Seas will be moderate to rough with wave heights of 4 to 6 feet. Expect a low tide this afternoon at 1:33, high tide this evening at 6:59. The sun will set this evening at 5:44 and will rise tomorrow morning at 6:40. And the outlook is calling for similar weather conditions through Thursday evening as the high-pressure system slowly drifts over the western Atlantic Ocean. That's the very latest on your weather report.
The traffic report is brought to you by Subway. Planning a meeting, event, or office celebration? Visit subway.ky to place your catering order today.
Good morning once again. Let's take a look at what's happening traffic-wise on the Esterly Tibbetts Highway heading to the Butterfield roundabout. Traffic is busy, and traffic busy in some sections of Crew Road. Other sections of Crew Road moving along steadily. Coming off of Bobby Thompson Way, steady traffic, and traffic is slow moving on the Linford Pearson Highway. Expect some slight delays as you head on down to Georgetown. Coming off the Linford Pearson Highway on Agnes Way, steady traffic. And as we look to Huldah Avenue, traffic is steady as well. And on Godfrey Nixon Way and Eastern Avenue, traffic moving on moderately. Light traffic on Owen Roberts Drive. And traffic flowing pretty good on Shedden Road. That's the very latest on your traffic. Join us again at about 10 minutes after 12. We'll give you another traffic outlook. Have a good morning and buckle up.
At Subway, we want to express our sincere appreciation for your support this year. We're still here because of you. Because you took care of us during a difficult time, let us take care of you and your family this holiday season. It's been a stressful year. You don't need the stress of planning big holiday dinners or parties. Just give us a call. We'll make it easy and work with you to plan your special occasion. Enjoy our catering, boxes, gift certificates, and of course, our delicious cookies and new flavors. We thank you for supporting local. Subway, eat fresh.
The traffic report is brought to you by Subway. Planning a meeting, event, or office celebration? Visit subway.ky to place your catering order today.
Depending on the severity of a storm, it is possible that your home's plumbing or septic tank could be damaged. Hazard Management Cayman Islands recommends using a garbage bag to line at least 2 5-gallon containers with tight-fitting covers to use as a temporary toilet. Be sure to include personal sanitation supplies in your emergency kit, such as moist towelettes, feminine hygiene products, garbage bags, and rubber gloves. For more useful hurricane preparedness tips, visit the Water Authority's website at www.waterauthority.ky or follow us on social media.
Maintaining a strong mind and body through sports and general healthy living is a good course of action. But what about your spiritual man, your inner man? He has to be awakened, fed, exercised, strengthened, and led according to the will of God. So, have you heard the call? I'm Evangelist Brother Joseph Joey Ebanks, and I'm inviting you to worship Wednesday and Thursday nights at 7:30. We are bringing the Word of God to our communities as Jesus commanded. Faith comes by hearing, so come and hear. Bring your own chair or simply park and listen to the Word of God from your vehicle, covering the Cayman Islands with the Word of God, one community at a time.
Rotary Central Music Extravaganza tickets are moving like Blackie's Grape Nut Ice Cream on a sizzling Saturday night in Cayman Brac. Get your tickets now from Rotary Central members, Rotary ticket sellers, online at eventpro.ky. Funky Tangs, Ale Thompson's Home Depot, The Bar at Mango Tree Restaurant, Seabird's Bar at Eastern Avenue. In Cayman Brac, Rotary Club of Cayman Brac and Tashara Lewis. Bar Camp on the Run in Red Bay. Gas stations island-wide. Get ready to be a winner. Stand your chance to win $40,000. Second prize, $4,000, 6 $1,000 prizes, and more. Your golden ticket, your golden chance. Rotary Central and the Music Extravaganza 2020. Innovators behind the Rotary Cayman Disaster Fund and the Rotary District 7020 Disaster Fund. Your tickets support over 70 Rotary community projects, making every ticket a winner. Rotary Central, not-for-profit number 232. Your ticket, your chance. Your contribution to a better community through Rotary. Rotary opens opportunity.
Oh, Cayman moon.
The voice of the Cayman Islands, Radio Cayman.
Shining down from above. We love our listeners.
Radio Cayman in the Cayman Islands.
For the record, with Ort Connor.
Initiating system. For information that matters. For the record, with Ort Connor. Continues right now on Radio Cayman.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. We're discussing the humanitarian relief efforts that are taking place to support the victims of the 2 hurricanes that struck Central America. We're talking with representatives from the 2020 Nicaraguan Disaster Fund. In the studio with me now, we have Mr. Carl Solomon, who's the chairperson of that group, and also with us, Miss Stephanie Catt, who's the vice chair of the group. So we'll be talking specifically now about the Nicaragua group. Mr. Solomon, over to you, sir.
Yes, good morning again. My name is Carl Solomon, which is the chair for the 2020 Nicaraguan Disaster Relief Group. And we're here to present that Nicaragua, the devastation over there is by far very, very bad in this time. The 2 storms back to back has hit Nicaragua. In the RAN side, which is Nicaragua, the Bilway side from the Caribbean coast, and major destruction has happened over there, where there are some places that not even the homes are standing, they're all gone. It's just a clear open patch. Some places have just water, which was once land. There's a lot of damage, a lot of people without homes. There are many shelters that are filled with people, and they're overpacked, that some people can't even get into the shelters. They're actually out in the open trying to survive. Is just a little bit about our group. Our group here was formed of many other Nicaraguan groups that we have here in Cayman, so we formed our group into one with the efforts of immediate help for Nicaragua. And the best way is to be united and make this happen. We're asking Cayman to be united with us in the efforts of helping Nicaragua as well.
Okay. Mr. Solomon, can you speak to how your effort is designed and your connectivity with people who are already underground in Nicaragua in terms of assisting them in their efforts?
Right. We've spoken to different entities in Nicaragua, non-profit organizations, churches, and also we reached out to the SEDECA, which is the human rights group over there. And we have people on ground in Nicaragua that can help us if we can help them with financial aid. Currently in Nicaragua, in the Pacific side, there's possibilities of getting clothing, food items, material items for rebuilding, even toys and stuff for the kids with financial aid. The people in the area that we're helping, it's like a fisherman town at a larger scale. Mm-hmm. The only ways and means of them surviving was a lot of fishing, and the value of that fishing is very, very slim and poor. Most of the people can only survive by what they fish for, and the price of things are a bit different. So we were looking at being able to help through Cayman. We wanted to ship things over. We know people want to give us items of food and water and clothing, but it's unable to reach there at this point. Mm-hmm. And in Nicaragua, the government is a bit different because they're not open-armed to receiving anything outside of their country currently. So financial aid would also help. The biggest thing is that we can get these items in Nicaragua at a very, very reasonable rate, inexpensive rate than what we would be purchasing items over here, and then spending a load of money to try to ship that back over there. And the chances of, being honest with you, the government may take that and no one may ever get that product. So we're reaching out to organizations like the churches. In our background, we've actually reached out to, as I said, the SEDECA. They've also got in contact with Church of God, the Moravian Church, the Catholic Church, the Anglican Church, and also the Adventist Church in regards to helping to distribute out anything that we can get to them. They've brought information to me of how to buy products, as in clothing, towels, sheets, tarps, stuff like that, and giving us the prices of everything, what these things will cost. And we've already researched and tested the grounds by sending money already over to this group.
Okay.
And gotten information back that we're looking for, so that every penny that we send is accounted for.
Okay. Ms. Kat, you want to add to that?
Yes. Like, just to tell you a little bit about the Caribbean coast of Nicaragua. The Caribbean coast of Nicaragua is divided in two sections, which is RAN, North Atlantic Autonomy Region, and RAC is the South Autonomy Atlantic Region. South Atlantic. So, like, in the Caribbean coast, mostly the people survive from the fishing. All these fishermen at this moment with these hurricanes, they have lost all their equipments, like diving gears, like fishing gears, their little boats, their pangas. So they don't have the way how they can make money at this moment. Yeah, so that's why those people are very desperate. We have been lost at the same time, like more than 5 small villages completely. They are gone, no houses. And people, like, they drinking water from dirty wells, no electricity, so no toilets at this moment. And, like, they really need some help from the Cayman Island.
Now, in addition to that, I think some of those areas have also been affected by the coronavirus as well. So that, this is coming on top of that also.
Yes, like, as the Miskito Indians, they are very poor people. But, they've been in there for many years, and they don't have the right equipment or the right hospital or medication for the coronavirus. But still, they've been going through all this hard time. But on top of that, now they have the hurricane, and their situation is worse at this moment. Many people have been lost everything. Like, you know how it is when you have been built something for many years, like your home especially, and you wake up next day and they are gone. So imagine that pain. I feel the pain because I am from Puerto Cabeza, and from the beach, which is wiped off, and my family have lost everything as well. So that's why I feel that pain, like what other people going through right now.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I think we want to provide our listening and viewing audience with information in terms of how they can go about contributing as well.
Well, I just wanted to touch base real quick in regards to when you mentioned COVID-19.
Yeah, okay.
Currently over there with the people drinking the dirty water, because there's no other drinking water, the malaria is actually being widespread. And with the area not being able to have electricity, different things, the dengue fever is also being spread over there. Yeah. And on top of that is the COVID-19 with the Mosquito people, Mosquito Indians in the area, which is, I think they're more indigenous in those areas. These people were sort of safe from the coronavirus because of where they live away from everyone else.
Right. Less human contact.
Human contact. The thing is, now that their homes have been destroyed in the forest and in the areas, they're coming out of that, and they came out of those areas for shelters. Mm-hmm. Now they're more prone to getting the coronavirus because of that, and they're unable to stay, back in their areas because it's been totally destroyed. Mm-hmm. Some areas isn't even ready to rebuild. You have to clean the area out first and then try to rebuild, and they don't have those type of tools to make that happen. Things like machetes, shovels, different things like that, and the education as well of medical things that is needed. They don't have that either. They survive from the earth, from the ground, totally different way than we can expect. We're living a life that is maybe a king's life to one of them. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I just wanted to bring out the very importance of this, let's say the diseases that are going around. Currently, there are also people walking around without masks and stuff over there for those reasons of not being educated in that, and also the value of getting masks and stuff from their way of getting the stuff is very, very expensive.
Yeah. Well, we'll see if I can
Sure.
add a little. Another element is the timeliness of this, the severity of the damages in Nicaragua. If the assistance isn't gotten to them within short order, we can potentially have persons even starving to death. That's how serious it is.
Yes.
When a human being is forced to drink contaminated water, it tells you the significance of how things are over there. So, and as you may have heard by the two spokespersons here this morning, the intention is to get the financial aid to them because the monies will be more effective over there as long as it's with a trusted source of disbursement in Nicaragua. And as they have highlighted already, it's the Human Rights Commission over there that will be doing so because $100 can go a farther way over there as it is here in the Cayman Islands. And it's more quicker and efficient to get there because timing is of a serious nature. So with that being said, I think, Carl, maybe
We're going to take a commercial break. When we return, we'll give them an opportunity to provide those details in terms of numbers and account numbers if there are any as well. Folks, please stay tuned for the record. We'll be back shortly.
It's time to buy smart. It's time to buy Ropers. Find everything for your home and kitchen at low prices at Ropers, your neighborhood store. Value, integrity. Ropers also offers complete janitorial service for commercial, industrial, and residential. They get the job done right every time. 122 Industrial Way, 949-2511, or email janitorial@ropers.ky. Clean up your spending with Ropers and stay prepared. 949-2511. Ropers, providing products and services for better public health.
Green Turtle. Modern solutions to get you through the new normal. Download the Green Turtle app now and top up yours or a loved one's phone with any mobile carrier in any destination. Home delivery of laptops, tablets, phones, accessories, and iTunes and major online retailer gift cards. And now, home deliveries of groceries and courier service. Guaranteed delivery within 2 hours from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. Visit their list of products at greenturtle.ky or download the Green Turtle app today. Green Turtle is not only the future of mobile, but today it can help save a life. Take a ride on the Green Turtle Express today. Download the Green Turtle app, the future of mobile, saving lives today.
No, man. My bill seem huge again, and I don't know what to do about it. I gotta look some help.
We can help. The Ministry of Commerce, Planning and Infrastructure has teamed up with CUC to give you the chance to win a home energy makeover worth up to $20,000. Not only will this lower your utility bills, it will increase your home's value. We are also giving away 8 home energy audits worth up to $1,900 each. Open to all homeowners in Grand Cayman. Entry is now open via www.energy.gov.ky/competition. Proudly sponsored by CEL Cooling, Mitsubishi, Phone Pros, Cooling Pros, and more. Use less, save more. Enter today. The 19th Annual Talent Exposition of the Arts on Sunday, December 13th is proudly sponsored by Walker, NCB, Frank Hall Homes, Rainbow Realty, Caymanian Times, Dr. Steve Tomlinson, Domino's Pizza, CUC, Macross, Automotive Arts, Fire Extinguishers Pro, A.L. Thompson, Burger King, Mitsubishi, Rubis Red Bay, Jose's Rubis, Rubis Eastern Avenue, Savannah Rubis, Brown's Esso, Mike's Esso, Dalworth's Esso, the Ministry of Culture, and the Ministry of Education. Get your tickets for the 2020 Talent Exposition of the Arts at eventpro.ky.
Talent Exposition of the Arts.
The Paramount Carpet pre-Christmas blowout sale is back. Monday, November 23rd through Saturday, November 28th. Save big with assorted remnant tiles, $250 square foot, $100 a pallet. Assorted remnant granite slabs, $300 each. Ceramic tiles as low as 75 cents a square foot. Porcelain tiles as low as 99 cents a square foot. Area rugs, 35% off. Carpets, 25% off. And all other in-house tiles, 20% off. cash and carry. Visit the Big Blowout Sale at Paramount Carpet, November 23rd to November 28th, located on 317 North Sound Road, Industrial Park. Open Monday to Friday, 7:30 till 5, and Saturday, 7:30 till 2. Call 949-5000.
We do a whole lot more than just cover your floor at Paramount Carpets.
Fat Chance, featuring Harriet Vassal as Ma, Giovanni Ebanks as Dexter, Giselle Webb as Corrine, Patrick Lopez as Buddy, Priscilla Pucci as Wiggy, Isaac Rankin as Mr. Fredericks, Jaron Carter as Frederick, Leroy Holness as Wiggy's date, and Radio Cayman's Susan as Mrs. Stanton. Fat Chance. Don't miss Fat Chance on Radio Cayman every Wednesday night at 7:30 p.m. until December 23rd, with a repeat of each week's episode airing every Saturday at 6:45 p.m. beginning on November 21st and ending on December 26th. A CNCF production, sponsored by Radio Cayman.
Shaken yet standing firm. This is Radio Cayman in the Cayman Islands.
System 1 loaded.
1-800-534-8255. What is on your mind when it comes to the government, independence, and the opposition? Issues that matter to you. 1-800-534-8255. Waiting to hear from you. For the Record.
This is For the Record with Ort Connor.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. In the studio with me this morning, MLA Mr. Kenneth Bryan, along with Miss Stephanie Cat, the Vice Chair of 2020 Nicaragua Disaster Relief Fund, as well as Mr. Carl Solomon, who is the chair, and we're discussing the relief efforts specifically, for Nicaragua at this point in time, and we're going to allow both Mr. Solomon and Ms. Cat to provide our audience with details as to how they can go about assisting. Mr. Solomon?
Currently, we have 4 treasurers that you can call on to if you want to give a financial donation.
Mm-hmm.
And the names are Jeffrey Centino. And that's Jeffrey Centino. His phone number is 525-0300. That's 525-0300. We also have Miss Nancy Borden. And that's Miss Nancy Borden. Her phone number is 916-5196. We have Miss Gay Smith, and her number is 924-0162. And to repeat that, 924-0162.
Mm-hmm.
And also Miss Myra Rankin, and her number is 925-2618. 925-2618. If you guys wanted to wire transfer through the banks, we have a bank account set up already, and the bank account name is Nicaraguan Disaster Relief.
The bank.
And the bank is Bank of Butterfield.
Mm-hmm.
The bank account number for the checking account is 136-0335-130033.
Okay, repeat
to
that
repeat
again,
that
please.
is 136-033-513-0033. We also have a U.S. savings account, which is 012-01-033513. And again, this is the U.S. savings account, and I'll repeat again, 012-01-033513. Please indicate your name as reference on there as well, please, when you're transferring.
Okay. And again, for the benefit of our audience, let's go over exactly what your objectives are and how you are going about trying to achieve those objectives to get immediate assistance to those persons who are in need in Nicaragua.
Yes, currently our objective is to, financially, we're trying to help them with immediate financial help. As I said, we reached out to many organizations in Nicaragua, which is on ground right now, and reach information in regards to the prices of products, foods, and supplies that we would need, medication, which is already in Nicaragua in certain areas that they can purchase and get to the people right away. So we have the human rights group called the SEDECA, which has reached out to many of the shelters and actually reached out to many of the people that are living in little homes that don't have any roofs or anything right now, helping them with health, well-being, and helping them with emotional, psychological, and social well-being after this storm, because it is putting a toll and effect on everybody. And they've also joined in group with all of the churches in the area to help to distribute and also help to gather information as in assessments and everything in regards to the destruction in Nicaragua.
Okay. Now, for those, and I hate to bring this in, but I think it's important to do so. For those persons who would question and say, well, what is the government of Nicaragua doing to assist? Can you explain what the situation is from a political perspective in Nicaragua so that people can understand that, those who may have that specific question?
Well, like the government of Nicaragua, the Sandinistas, they kind of like most care about the Managua area, the capital area, and the Pacific area, and he don't really care about the Caribbean coast, which is the Miskito Indians. So the situation has been on and on for a long time, and he never will care around there. The street, the roads, they are in very bad shape. And for right now, the mostly people who receiving a little bit of help from the government, it is if you have the card. You have to have a Sandinista card, and you have to present that. So the people who are not Sandinistas, they're not receiving anything. So this is why we don't want to work with the government. We don't want anything to do with him or with them. So that's why we're working mostly like with SEDECA, the human rights organization, and the churches. So they can share transparently and like transparently and clearly everything, so everybody who really is in need, they can receive their help from the Cayman Islands.
Okay, Mr. Solomon.
Yes, there's no prejudice in the people that we're trying to help. In regards to the government over there, as she said before, it's like the political party. They have two parties, and they're always at war against each other. And the way, it would be unfair to say that the government isn't helping someone, but he is helping people on the side of his political party, which is the Sandinistas. And if you're not a Sandinista, he is forcing you to join the Sandinista force in order to get help, because they are giving out zinc and some material and stuff. But if you do not have that Sandinista card, which is an identification card saying that you're a part of that party, you're not getting those items or getting anything to help. He's sort of turning you away from being able to receive any kind of aid or any kind of help unless you join his party.
And also, I think it's important to recognize that majority of the people that are particularly connected to Cayman are those Mosquito Indians that we talk about, because of the fishing connection in the
Bluefields area and stuff like
exactly,
that.
Which is the areas that some of this conflict is coming into play, where they're not a part of that political arm. They're traditional fisher people of the sea, and we have a lot of connection outside of the fact that this is not only about the Cayman connection, but the human connection, period, and doing it for everybody. But if we know that there's persons who are not getting help because of a political conflict, then that's concerning. Hence the reason the group is focusing on the human rights group and the churches who will not be biased to any one side, just to make sure that everybody gets something. So I think that is important to highlight. But OC also that specifying that anybody who wants to donate, particularly of what they heard just now, this is for Nicaragua. I know that there's other persons who are focused on the different islands like Honduras and San Andres. If you specifically want to donate for Nicaragua, these are the connections that you want to make. If you have family there or you have some special affinity for Nicaragua, this would be the committee and the group that you want to talk to. I think it's important for those who may be bilingual to say in Spanish what they in quick succession in Spanish what we're covering in respect to Nicaragua.
Okay.
You want?
Why don't we take a commercial break, and that'll give them an opportunity to prepare for that. And when we return, we can have them do that as well as their closing comments. Folks, please stay tuned. For the record, we'll be back shortly.
What's that? No sugar, same amazing taste? Coca-Cola Zero Sugar is here to stay. Classic taste, pure satisfaction. Be sure to stop into any Tortuga location and get your own case of Coke Zero. Or grab an ice-cold one straight from the cooler. Brought to you by Tortuga Distributors Limited. Coca-Cola, taste the feeling, K-Man.
Fidelity Bank would like to thank all essential workers. We salute your efforts and thank you for the sacrifices you've made to keep us all safe. During these challenging times we're facing, our top priority is the health and safety of the communities we serve. And while it's true that things are changing rapidly every day, one thing that will never change is our commitment to giving you the best and sound financial solutions to help you during and after the coronavirus pandemic. At Fidelity Bank, our focus will always be you. Fidelity, we're good for you.
Stronger, wider, higher, lighter. The all-new Ford Ranger Raptor. Powerfully built with a 2.0 diesel Panther engine and 210 horsepower. Modern with leather interior, an 8-inch touchscreen, Sync 3 technology, and power features. Tough, built to handle the off-road with 4-wheel drive, terrain modes, and 10-speed automatic transmission. Coming early October to Vamped Motors, Walkers Road. To find out more and to test drive the bold new Ford Ranger Raptor, visit Vamped Motors, Walkers Road, or call 949-8288.
Don't miss the best bargain on island. The car boot sale at the Agricultural Society grounds, located on Lottery Road, Savannah, happening this Saturday, the 28th, from 8 a.m. until 1 p.m. $2 entry for adults and free for children under 13. Breakfast and lunch will be on sale. Vendors' car space is only $25. Tables and covered spaces also available. Deadline to book your vendor space will be this Friday, 5 p.m. If you need more information, you can always email 345agriculture@gmail.com.
Do you remember when 2020 was great?
I don't think it was...
2020 vision, not the year.
Right.
Make 2020 great again with Optical Outlook, the new West Bay store now open. With their designer frames and sunglasses, eye health has never looked so good. Call 746-2020 and book your eye exam today at Caymanian Village and now at Jake Scott Plaza in West Bay, offering premier eye care in Cayman for over 30 years. Come see the difference with Optical Outlook.
Shaken yet standing firm.
I was not built to break.
This is Radio Cayman in the Cayman Islands.
For the record, with Ort Connor.
Initiating system. For information that matters. For the record, with Ort Connor. Continues right now on Radio Cayman.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. We're discussing the relief effort to Central America, specifically Nicaragua, after the devastation of two hurricanes back to back. In the studio, along with MLA Mr. Kenneth Bryan, we do have Mr. Carl Solomon, who's the chair of the 2020 Nicaragua Disaster Relief, as well as Ms. Stephanie Cat, who's the vice chair. And before we went to the commercial break, we were going to have Ms. Cat speak in their language to those persons who are listening as well. Ms. Cat.
Muy buenos días a todos los audientes en español. No importa de qué país tú seas, pero que resides aquí en la isla Caimán. Nosotros estamos tratando de cómo poder ayudar al país de Nicaragua. Sabemos de que los huracanes ETA y OTA ha destruido muy fuertemente la costa caribe del lado norte de Nicaragua, que es el Raán. Entonces, nosotros nos hemos unido y hemos formado un grupo aquí que se llama 2020 Nicaragua Disaster Relief. Y entonces nos hemos reunido para así como poder de la mejor manera apoyar urgentemente a los afectados de los huracanes. Entonces hemos visto que la mejor forma es por medio de donaciones efectivo, para así nosotros proceder y comprar todos los materiales necesarios o lo más específico son como ropas, medicamento, agua, para los bebés, leches y también sábanas, mosquiteros y etcétera, para así poder ayudar inmediatamente a los necesitados de este huracán. Entonces, para más información, nosotros también ya tenemos una cuenta bancaria para los que quieren hacer donaciones por medio de cuenta bancaria. Tenemos a nuestros tesoreros que son Jeffrey Centeno, que su número de teléfono es 525-0300, que lo pueden llamar a él y él les dará mejor información. Voy a repetir su número de teléfono otra vez, 525-0300. También tenemos a la señora Nancy Boden, que ella es otra de las tesoreras, y su número de teléfono es 916-5196. Voy a repetir, 916-5196. Tenemos también a la señora Gay Smith, que su número de teléfono es 924-0162, 924-0162, y la señora Mayra Rankin, 925-2618, 925-2618. Y el número de la cuenta NCI sería con el Banco de Butterfield, que es la cuenta del Nicaraguan Disaster Relief, es 1360-335-130033. Voy a volver a repetir para la cuenta CI, 1360-335-130033. Y para la cuenta de US es el 01-201-03-3513. 01-201-03-3513. Puede llamar para más información a uno de estos tesoreros y ellos les estarán contestando. Muchas gracias a todos. Desde ya les agradecemos todas sus donaciones, todo su apoyo. Cayman Island, God bless you.
Okay, thank you very much for that.
Well, I just want to, sort of close here with saying the need is real and it is urgent. And I'm asking Cayman to do what we have always done, and that's step up and help. As small as our country is, we have always been helping those countries back with help of forms of offering jobs and whatever. But in the times of disaster in any region, we've always stepped up to helping any country there is that we can help. And we're asking if you can help Nicaragua And I'm not going to be selfish. Please, guys, we have Honduras, we have Colombia. Our efforts, I'm looking for Nicaragua, but I'm also looking help for everybody from the Caymanian public. Please feel free to help. Any one of us, we would love the help from every group, because we are all one people. We are all humans. And some people are in need right now. We may have very little right now based on COVID-19 having effects across the world. But we've showed with unity that things can happen. And Cayman, so far, we can take our hats off for our government for helping us out here in Cayman with the COVID-19 effect. And you'll see how unity has made that work, where everyone is being united, and so far we can walk around without masks in Cayman because of the safety that we all help with each other to make that happen. So I'm sure we can come together to help those that are in need right now in those different countries. And I just want to throw a little bit in the past. When our fishermen went out to fishing and turtling, and you heard about catboating and everything, those countries took care of our people and made sure they were well taken care of and allowed them to come back home with goods that we never had here in Cayman in the days of their time, way back in the day, sorry. And we've also had where Caymanians used to go and work in these countries.
Exactly, yeah.
Because there's a lot of Caymanians moved from here. They used to work in Nicaragua in places like the mines and different areas. So just imagine that it's been turned around and people are coming to us now more than we're going to them. But back in those times that built our island up, those people were going over there for that help. Mm-hmm. And they've given us that help.
Yeah.
And that's where we are right now in the Cayman Islands. So please, guys, it's very urgent. We want to get help for all of our countries, and seeking the help for Nicaragua. All the numbers we've given, all the bank accounts. Please feel free to contact us with any information. If there's people on the ground that are willing to help, those contact numbers would be used as well for that purpose.
Okay, Ms. Kat, anything you want to add as well for as far as closing comments?
Yes, just to let you know, I know a lot of you been in the Mosquito Key as well, and all the keys are gone. They are completely destroyed. So, just to give you a little hint about it. And, I hope you guys will understand us, like Brother Carl is saying, like not just for Nicaragua, but the Colombians and the Honduranians as well. They really need you, and I know you have the good heart to open your hand for those countries who are in need. Thank you so much.
Okay, Mr. Brian, anything you want to add?
OC, not much really, to be honest. I'm just kind of a bit emotional because I'm concerned about, I can just see the kids over there and the elderly. I remember what Ivan was like. And we have a strong building code. We have a resilient government. Though there's political differences every election like normal, but we're a strong community. We come together. And I'm so worried about the political arm over there and not really giving people the help that they need. I can't see. And I think about my kids. If my daughters were stuck in devastated circumstances, crying for food or not showing about school, and the hospitals are destroyed. 2020 has been a difficult time for our earth, and we've been so lucky. The Lord has blessed the Cayman Islands so well. We've been able to escape from COVID-19 so well, even escape from the storms. Our economy is still reasonably strong. Our government, the government and the opposition together still are focused on getting the country back on track. There's so much we should be grateful for. So much. 2020, we missed 2020, even though we've dealt with some difficult times. I ask of you, please, please, please think about this and help any way you can. These people are in so much trouble. and they need us. We have an obligation as human beings to look out for our brothers and sisters, even if you've never met them in your life. It'll come back twofold to you and your grandchildren, your great-grandchildren one day. Let's do our part.
Mm-hmm. And you know, there are many people who are tracing their family trees now in Cayman, and many will find that connection, you know, with Nicaragua, with, you know, Honduras as well. And Mr. Solomon mentioned the fact that, you know, people went over there to work and other things. Also, after emancipation of slaves, because there was not a whole lot for them to do here in Cayman, many then went over to Central America, Honduras, and to places like Nicaragua as well. So, you know, we do have that connection there as well. So I want to thank both of you for being here. Thanks to Mr. Kenneth Bryan again for ceding his time to allow you to be on, and we wish you every success. And if there's any additional information on my show that you want to pass out to the general public, please feel free to contact me, and I will impart that information on to our listening and viewing audience as well. So we've reached the top of the hour, 9 o'clock. When we return, the conversation will continue with MLA Mr. Kenneth Bryan. So please stay tuned.
You are listening to Radio Cayman, the voice of the Cayman Islands.
Today's biggest news.
Radio Cayman.
It's only 2 species that we have, you know, on the island.
Generations present.
Your voice, your choice.
It is in the best interest of the people of these islands.
Local, regional, international. This is Headlines from Radio Cayman's newsroom.
Today's biggest news.
With your latest news, I'm Karsley Fuller. Government reported the results of 481 COVID-19 tests on Tuesday. The medical officer of health says there was one positive, an asymptomatic traveler who returned a positive test following routine screening. There are currently 832 people in isolation. United Kingdom Chancellor is expected to announce his plans for economic recovery and protecting jobs over the coming year today. It will come after UK Prime Minister Boris Johnson answers questions in the Commons. People across the UK are being urged to think carefully before they take advantage of the relaxation of restrictions over Christmas. A government advisor says family gatherings are, quote, recipe for regret. The devolved administrations have agreed UK-wide rules to allow families to meet over 5 days next month. Meanwhile, millions of Americans are traveling home to celebrate Thanksgiving despite warnings from health officials. Nearly 60 million cases have been confirmed globally, with around 1.4 million deaths. Those are your headlines. I'm Karsley Fuller.
For the latest in news and information,
follow Radio Cayman on social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Download the Radio Cayman app or log on to our website, radiocayman.gov.ky.
Your voice, your choice, your radio.
For the record, with Ort Connor.
Initiating system.
For information that matters. For the record, with Ort Connor. Continues right now on Radio Cayman.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. In the studio with me now, Mr. Kenneth Bryan, but also on behalf of Mr. Carl Solomon and Ms. Stephanie Cat, they want to extend their sincere gratitude to those persons, over 100 persons who showed up at Lions Center last night for the meeting that they had there, and they also received financial donations from some of those persons who attended that meeting, and they didn't get an opportunity before the show ended to extend their sincere gratitude to all of those persons who attended and contributed as well. So we wanted to do that on their behalf. Before I turn the mic over to MLA Mr. Kenneth Bryan, I also want to point out that one of our favorite listeners to Radio Cayman, Mr. George Shillette, celebrated a birthday yesterday as well. So we want to wish Mr. George Shillette a belated happy birthday as well. Over to you, Mr. Bryan.
Thank you so much, Mr. Connor, and a happy belated birthday to Mr. Shillette as well from myself. Very amazing man, an amazing singer as well, one of Cayman's best, if I dare say. OC, as we just came off the topic about the assistance for the three countries, Nicaragua, Honduras, and Colombia, particularly that of San Andres, I think it's a good segue into a popular topic that has been hitting the airways, which is the circumstances with the fishermen downtown. Because as you heard a little bit of reference to our cultural connectivity through the fishing element in these various islands in Honduras and San Andres and Nicaragua. As some of you may have heard, there was some difficulty or some awkwardness in respect to having the fishermen removed from the location where they're at in interest of putting them somewhere else. I don't want to get into the negativity of what potentially was happening behind the scenes, but more so to focus on the positives. So just to give you an update, the government, I spoke with the Minister, the Honorable Joseph Hugh, with the fishermen down at the bay. And though the government has not given any official announcement at this particular time, I hope that they will do so in short order. Basically, after discussions with the fishermen and the want of the protection of our cultural heritage of being at that location, the government insisted on having a meeting with the landowner, who if the information is correct, though as most of you may know, I'm not involved in the discussions. I'm not a part of the government, and they haven't invited me to come along. But as a result of some meetings, I am pleased to announce at this stage that the landowner is going to be willing to put the land in a trust. This is what I'm being told. So I'm not on the inside circle, but I spoke with the minister this morning because I think it's important for me to give the public an update as to what's transpiring. Not only because that location is so important to all of us, but it's also within my constituency, and anything within my constituency I take very seriously. So with that being said, he's given me an update as per this morning that the ending result with the landowner, who I would like to say thank you so much for this information. If this is factual, thank you. If this is a decision that will be made moving forward, to put the land in a trust to the people of the Cayman Islands. As before, one of my suggestions were when the uneasy circumstances were happening with the fishermen was for government to acquire the property, period. But then, obviously, then it's in the hands of the government if the government wanted to do anything with it later on. Yes. So maybe the landowner is actually probably the smarter person in this, which goes, I don't want any political interference either. I truly want the people to have it. So, again, I've tried to have conversations with the landowner. I've been unsuccessful with that, but I want to take this opportunity publicly to say thank you if, in fact, this is what will be happening, to put that land where the fishermen do their business in the hands of the people by way of a trust. Yeah. So that's good news.
That trust, by putting it in a trust, you can say specifically what can and can't be done with it, and it has to be adhered to. Exactly.
Thank you for highlighting that, Mr. Corner. Allow me to just read verbatim, because I think it's important that I just say what the minister told me. And this is by way of comment from him. He says, the family intends to put the property in a trust in the name of the people of the Cayman Islands for the pleasure of its people. We're working through some other details. Now, obviously, I think the government will be prudent by not making any announcements until all the circumstances and details have been ironed out. Sure. But I want to give the good people of the Cayman Islands, particularly the fishermen and those who care about that location so much, a little bit of ease. It looks like we're progressing positively. And again, I want to take this opportunity to thank the landowner for coming to compromise as into to resolution, because it's a part of us. It's who we are, and that location. As much as people will say, "Well, boy, what's stopping from moving a fisherman down the road to another little area?" It changes so much, that little thing, and I won't get into all the details as to why. I think most of us know the importance of keeping that iconic location operating as the way it is. So, but to thank the parties, particularly that of the minister and the government, for having the discussions and the landowner to get into that stage of having a way forward, and hopefully we can get that in paper and ink be dried, so we can all feel comfortable that we won't have this problem moving forward, and that if ever the cruise tourism ever actually gets back up, they can still come down there with their little rods and catch a little tarpon out there while a good old Caymanian is telling them old stories about who we were and the days when we went to Mosquito Key, like what we were talking about this morning. So
yeah, that is good news. And what it does, it solidifies and restores our trust and our confidence in our fellow human being, that material possessions will take a back seat to the survival of other persons, the recognition of our culture, and the attempts to preserve our cultural heritage and everything else. So that is such a big plus in terms of restoring our confidence in our fellow human beings to do the right thing when the right thing is called for.
Yes, and I, like I said, I haven't had the opportunity to speak to the family and the landowner specifically, but it's actions like this that, at the end of the day, nobody wants to be told what to do with their land, especially when you've paid for it, right? So it's a big decision to say basically you are forfeiting something that is seen to be yours, even though there is that prescriptive notion about it for over many, many decades and hundreds, if not hundreds of years. But that's still a big commitment to the people and the betterment of the country to do such a thing as a trust, and people should be awarded for that. So hopefully, when this is all ironed out, I think the landowner should be recognized, in my humble opinion, for that effort, and let's see how it goes. And I'll be the first one to make the recommendation if in fact that trust is created on behalf of the good people of Cayman to protect our cultural norms and heritage.
Okay.
That being said, there's another update I would like to bring to the attention of the people, and it's a common one where the Christmas cleanup work. I've been getting many calls and questions and texts about if they're going to have it. I had the opportunity again to speak to the minister about that topic. The government has not made any official announcement yet because they're still trying to iron out the kinks of the crowd amounts. As you know, right now, the amounts allowed to gather is 500 as per regulations for the pandemic, COVID-19 regulations, should I say. And the projections are with the unemployment levels so high that they can't just have one event and try to, because if you have it, like what we did at Lions Center, there's a high probability that way more than 500 is going to show up.
Break it up in alphabetical order.
Well, that is exactly what the minister has expressed to me this morning, that they're trying to figure out what's the best way to go about it, whether it's do a call in the district of the different, like for one in West Bay, Bordentown, Georgetown, and then the Bordentown one could encompass the East End and North Side. I don't think we'll have that problem in Cameron so much. And again, I'm only making speculation. So they're trying to work that out. The intention, according to the minister this morning, is to at least get 2 weeks within December and then potentially carry on some more weeks within the month of January. As you can imagine, I'm predicting the persons involved in the Christmas cleanup, the NICE program, to be well over 800. So it is important that the government does not break the law by allowing a gathering over 500, because then it'll be another thing to talk about in respect to breaking the law. But there's safety concerns that we have to adhere to. So sadly, this hurdle of the amount of persons would create a little bit of a delay. I'm hoping that the government can resolve these matters within short order and make an announcement to the public, for particularly those who are looking forward to this a bit of work because of unemployment issues or what have you. So that's what I have in respect to an update to that. Keep your ears to Radio Cayman, because I know Radio Cayman will definitely be dispersing the information as soon as the government announces it, as to where you can register and sign up for the program, which I suspect may be in different days at different locations. So you got to be listening carefully to the details. What we don't want is everybody hears of the very first one and just goes to the very first one in respect to that. OC, I don't know if you want to highlight some COVID-19 related news to see where we're at, particularly with the
Well, if you have it there, you can go ahead and do.
I saw you shooting ahead the numbers. So,
well, we were looking. I was looking at the 24th of November figures, and 481 COVID-19 tests had been carried out since the last one on Monday, the 23rd of November, and one was positive. It pointed out that the individual is an asymptomatic traveler who returned a positive test result following a routine screening. They will remain in isolation until considered recovered. I know that persons have been expressing their concerns about the number of positives, but you're going to end up with the positives once you do the testing. The good thing about it is that there is no community transmission, and we're seeing, we're hearing the business community, especially those in the tourism field, talking about Cayman coming up with a plan, talking about the bubbles and various things. What we're seeing in some of those jurisdictions that have gone in that direction is that now there is evidence of community spread as a result, not necessarily coming from travelers, but community spread as well. And one would wonder and question, how is that occurring? So we have to be extremely cautious, and I do understand that the tourism industry has to survive and everything else, but
so is human life.
That must come first. We're going to take the commercial break. When we return, the conversation with MLA Mr. Kenneth Bryan will continue, so please stay tuned.
Stronger, wider, higher, lighter. The all-new Ford Ranger Raptor. Powerfully built with a 2.0 diesel Panther engine and 210 horsepower. Modern with leather interior and 8-inch touchscreen, Sync 3 technology and power features. Tough, built to handle the off-road with 4-wheel drive, terrain modes, and 10-speed automatic transmission. Coming early October to Vamped Motors, Walkers Road. To find out more and to test drive the bold new Ford Ranger Raptor, visit Vamped Motors, Walkers Road, or call 949-8288.
Fidelity Bank would like to thank all essential workers. We salute your efforts and thank you for the sacrifices you've made to keep us all safe. During these challenging times we're facing, our top priority is the health and safety of the communities we serve. And while it's true that things are changing rapidly every day, one thing that will never change is our commitment to giving you the best and sound financial solutions to help you during and after the coronavirus pandemic. At Fidelity Bank, our focus will always be you. Fidelity, we're good for you.
What's that? No sugar, same amazing taste? Coca-Cola Zero Sugar is here to stay. Classic taste, pure satisfaction. Be sure to stop into any Tortuga location and get your own case of Coke Zero. Or grab an ice-cold one straight from the cooler. Brought to you by Tortuga Distributors Limited. Coca-Cola, taste the feeling, Cayman.
Kirk Freeport's Black Friday weekend sale is bigger than ever, with up to 70% off an incredible selection of watches, jewelry, and accessories. Even better, Kirk Freeport is giving extended access to the sale all day Thursday through Monday. Find the sale at Bayshore Mall and Cardinal Avenue, or enjoy late-night shopping at the Strand until 9 p.m. Get unbeatable discounts from brands including Roberto Coin, Swarovski, Bulgari, Masica, Doves, Ippolita, Lagos, Fossil, and many more. Plus, take an additional 10% off all non-branded sale merchandise. It's Black Friday all weekend at Kirk Freeport. Visit KirkFreeport.com for full details.
Honey, Our fridge has stopped working again. Everything in the freezer is melting. We need to get this repaired right away. I'm calling Brand Source Service.
When you need the very best appliance service, call Brand Source Service at 623-5000. Offering service and installation of all brands and models of appliances. Brand Source Service is Cayman's source for appliance parts and repairs with qualified and experienced technicians and the island's largest stock of appliance parts. Brand Source Service will have your repair completed in a flash. So, whatever the problem is, call the experts at 623-5000. Brand Source Service, Dorsey Drive, Industrial Park. Telephone 623-5000.
Satisfaction is guaranteed 24 hours a day, whether it's music or information.
From Grand Cayman to Cayman Brac to Little Cayman, we've got you covered.
You ever hear a thing like that?
Radio Cayman in the Cayman Islands.
For the record, with Ort Connor.
Initiating system.
For information that matter. For the record, with Ort Connor. Continues right now on Radio Cayman.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. In the studio with me, MLA, Mr. Kenneth Bryan. Mr. Bryan, over to you, sir.
Thanks again, Mr. Connor, and good morning again to your listening audience. Before we went to the break, we were speaking about the numbers of the COVID-19 and the relevance of recognizing that we're still getting positive cases coming from travelers. And I want to make sure not to alert the public by saying these persons are caught before they are released into our population. So we're still seeing that many locations, people are coming in with the COVID-19. Thankfully, we get them in isolation, and until it goes away, most of the persons are never symptomatic because there are protocols where they take a test before they come, as well as when they take a test when they get here, as well as quarantining. So we have a good setup of making sure that it does not get into our community for community transfer. So I think that's working well, but it does give us some indication as to the realities of the difficulties it would cause for trying to open up for these bubble concepts and our tourism products. So we're still going to be in this for quite some time, and it's a difficult managing process. But though we talked about the COVID-19 and though we are doing well with keeping it under control, one of the things that have come to light is unfortunate disregard for the regulations and the freedoms that our legislators, myself included, and the rest of the members of the House have created for persons to come within ease rather than being locked up in a quarantine facility by government. I know, OCD, you may have heard of a recent story where a couple from overseas that owns property in the Cayman Islands were fined for breaching the quarantining regulations. And I'm rather disappointed, particularly because we award persons to come to our beautiful country, live in a safe zone that we've created, for you to jeopardize that. Now, OC, I'm not fully aware of exactly how much they were fined, but I think it was
$1,000 each, and I think $200 on court costs as well for each of them.
I mean, I think they should be rather grateful for that, because if I was in charge, it would have been $100,000, because I think that people are not recognizing the serious risk you're putting to people's lives, to our whole economy. One outbreak in Cayman can shut this whole economy down, all of us back in quarantine and lockdowns and what's it called? What are we calling it? When you have to go in by 6 o'clock, the curfew.
Curfew. Yeah.
And all of us remember what that felt like. And this is what persons who violate those regulations, after we've created them in a way to allow you to be in the pleasure of your own space. And honestly, I'm disappointed. I think that these travelers who've come here, even though they own property, should be embarrassed of your behavior. And I think it's very unbecoming. We have a beautiful country here. We have beautiful people. And we try to work very hard, particularly the legislators and the government, to create an environment that we can survive throughout this pandemic. And for you to outright breach that is, on behalf of the good people of Cayman, we are disappointed in you for doing that. And anybody who violates that for that fact.
Well, I would take it one step further.
Yes.
since they're visitors to the island, right? We have given them the privilege to come visit here under the particular circumstances that we find ourselves in now. Those persons should be declared persona non grata when they leave, because it is quite obvious that they do not have the health and safety of the people of the Cayman Islands or even their fellow visitors, tourists. They do not have that at heart at all. We don't need those types of persons here in the Cayman Islands.
Well, what I'll say to that,
and we have to send a strong message to people who come here that they're expected to respect the laws of this country, because when we go abroad, we have the same obligations and we're subject to the same sanctions and same penalties as well. When you put the life of people in the Cayman Islands at risk, we don't need you here. They should be declared persona non grata.
Well, OC, I think I would agree with you that there needs to be stronger, strict regulations and penalties for this. The reason I wouldn't go that far is because I don't know all the details. I think I understand that they are property owners here.
That shouldn't
really matter. No. But we definitely need to accomplish the concept of we're taking this very seriously. I think $1,000 penalty, particularly for persons who have money, is a drop in the bucket. They went out, they can go out to Cayman, to a particular restaurant in Cayman and spend $1,000 just on dinner. So that's nothing to them. But the risk of what they've done is way more. That's why I'm willing to go to the point of embarrassment on the radio today. So if you are listening, or if you're friends with these individuals, you let them know that the country is embarrassed by them and they should be ashamed of themselves. At least hopefully the embarrassment may cause them more pain than $1,000, because I think that's what is needed. I'm of the view that if it was up to me and I had a paper, I'd put them on the front page of the paper and say, here's the jackasses of the day. That's what needs to happen, because they need to recognize and send a message to all of those who are coming to the Cayman Islands to say, don't be a fool and end up on the front page or in some poster somewhere making a fool of yourself and putting the whole country in danger. We're talking about tens of hundreds of millions of dollars are at risk by one outbreak. The whole economy shuts down, school shuts down, people could potentially lose jobs because businesses can go bankrupt during shutdown circumstances, not to mention the health and safety of our people. And that's what one little, I want to go down to the liquor store while you have your tag on your arm or on your leg, you think is not a big deal. But if you have COVID-19, you go into the liquor store and you give it to the cashier, and the cashier goes home and gives it to her grandmother, and her grandmother dies, and then we have a outbreak. That's the things that they don't think about.
And so, go ahead. Sorry.
So that being said, I am of the view that I really wished, and it's not my place to step into the hands of the court, because the court is a different jurisdiction, and I'm not saying. But if it was me and I was a judge, I would make an example out of this couple. I think the first case sets a precedent, because from now moving forward, a person who may go intentionally trying to go, I don't care what the regulations say, you've set a precedent. Their lawyer can argue and say, well, okay, you only charge that person $1,000. So you don't have the opportunity of setting the bar really, really high for any other cases coming on afterwards to say, okay, I can come down lower than that. You kept the bar there, and I think $1,000 plus $200 court time is disgusting. To be honest with you, you have Caymanians who were in a zone of quarantine, the
bubble,
shut down at 6 o'clock. What is it called again? Curfew. Persons being charged close to $1,000 just for breaking curfew, and that's not potentially having the virus and potentially could spread it, and they're getting almost the same fee. No, I don't think that is fair.
And kudos have to go out to the manager of the complex for bringing it to the attention, because the story in the newspaper, one of the newspapers, talks about the fact that in details that were brought out in court, that the complex manager got suspicious and alerted to police. And it appears as if it wasn't just one breach. It may have been at least 3 breaches.
Yeah. And
right?
that's why this should be made an example of.
Which makes it even more egregious.
And not like they made a mistake. It's like this seems to be intentional.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? And I again, I'm going to say this again. If the people, or if anybody who knows these individuals, matter of fact, as far as I heard later yesterday, they're leaving the island. And they should, because they should be ashamed of themselves. And to come here, the little island you bought some land on to say, oh, this is my vacation home or my retirement home or whatever their plans were, to come put it all at risk. You're talking about potentially damaging our whole economy, affecting the one investment that you've made because of what? You can't order some liquor to come delivered to your house. I mean, the pettiness of it all and the disregard for our country, I find very disgusting in my humble opinion. But that being said, I want this to be a message to anybody else who's coming to the Cayman Islands to respect our regulations, respect how hard this government and the opposition have worked, respect how hard the police and the hospital and the medical chief officer who has put in all this work to keep us where we are, to keep our economy afloat, not for you to come here and jeopardize it. If you can't abide by the rules, stay out. Until we get this under control and the earth is back to where it needs to be. This is not a joke. People's lives are at risk, and our Caymanian people's lives are at risk. If you want to stay risky in a different country and run around with COVID-19 all you want, fine, do it somewhere else, not in the Cayman Islands. And I do not like it. People need to understand and respect our country for what it stands in the rules and laws around here. So I'll leave that there.
Okay, time for us to take a commercial break. Folks, please stay tuned. For the record with Mr. Kenneth Bryan will continue after this short commercial break.
Green Turtle, modern solutions to get you through the new normal. Download the Green Turtle app now and top up yours or a loved one's phone with any mobile carrier in any destination. Home delivery of laptops, tablets, phones, accessories, and iTunes and major online retailer gift cards. And now, home deliveries of groceries and courier service. Guaranteed delivery within 2 hours from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. Visit their list of products at greenturtle.ky or download the Green Turtle app today. Green Turtle is not only the future of mobile, but today it can help save a life. Take a ride on the Green Turtle Express today. Download the Green Turtle app, the future of mobile, saving lives today.
No, man. My bill seem huge again, and I don't know what to do about it. I gotta look some help.
We can help. The Ministry of Commerce, Planning and Infrastructure has teamed up with CUC to give you the chance to win a home energy makeover worth up to $20,000. Not only will this lower your utility bills, it will increase your home's value. We are also giving away 8 home energy audits worth up to $1,900 each. Open to all homeowners in Grand Cayman. Entry is now open via www.energy.gov.ky/competition. Proudly sponsored by CEL Cooling, Mitsubishi, Phone Pros, Cooling Pros, and more. Use less, save more. Enter today.
Hi, I'm remodeling our bathroom. I have a few questions.
Sure.
What are some ideas to make my bathroom feel larger? How do I know if I'm picking the right vanity? How do I choose a new toilet or a new countertop? Also, the lighting is terrible. Can I put a window or a skylight? And do I really need an exhaust fan?
You've come to the right place. At Brand Source, we custom design kitchen and baths, and our talented design team can help answer your questions. Whether you're looking for a modern, functional family bathroom or a luxurious personal retreat, we'll help create that beautiful space that makes your home yours. And if you're in a rush for a new look and have a limited budget, our ready-to-install bathroom vanities, built with solid wood and countertops of the finest materials, are a quick and easy remodeling solution.
For the very best in custom-designed kitchens and baths, visit Brand Source Home Gallery on Dorsey Drive, Industrial Park, Cayman's Kitchen and Bath Center.
Rotary Central Music Extravaganza tickets. They're flying out the window. Get your tickets now from Rotary Central members, Rotary ticket sellers, online at eventpro.ky, Funky Tangs, A.L. Thompson's Home Depot, The Bar at Mango Tree Restaurant, Sievert's Bar on Eastern Avenue, or on Cayman Brack from the Rotary Club of Cayman Brack and Tishara Lewis, or from Barcam on the Run in Red Bay and gas stations island-wide. Get ready to be a winner with your chance to win $40,000 or a second prize of $4,000. And there are 6 $1,000 prizes and more. Do you have your golden ticket for the golden chance? Rotary Central and the Music Extravaganza 2020, supporting over 70 Rotary community projects. Rotary Central, not-for-profit number 232. Your ticket for your chance and your contribution to a better community through Rotary. Remember, Rotary. It opens opportunities.
What's that? No sugar, same amazing taste? Coca-Cola Zero Sugar is here to stay. Classic taste, pure satisfaction. Be sure to stop into any Tortuga location and get your own case of Coke Zero. Or grab an ice-cold one straight from the cooler. Brought to you by Tortuga Distributors Limited. Coca-Cola, taste the feeling, Cayman.
For the record with Ort Connor.
Initiating system.
For information that matters. For the record with Ort Connor. Continues right now on Radio Cayman.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. MLA Mr. Kenneth Bryan is in the studio with me. One of our listeners has written in and said, good morning, Mr. Connor and Mr. Bryan. I agree wholeheartedly with Mr. Bryan's sentiments regarding the persons who are coming here and breaching the regulations put in place for our safety. So,
although I want to thank the commenter, the person who sent that comment in. I think most of us would feel that way in respect to this, and I will continue to press that because I want the notion to be spread amongst those, and I hope that potentially like a flyer or a pamphlet of something of some sort needs to be given to individuals when they arrive in Cayman. Mm-hmm. Because I can understand if they haven't been here and understand all the struggle of what we've gone through to get us to this type of environment of safety. And they may not be around to understand how committed we are to each other. I want a little pamphlet that the government can print to say, listen, here are the regulations. It's seriously shunned upon for any breaches to these regulations. And they need to be reminded that the Cayman Islands people would be really disappointed. And give it an emotional element to it outside the monetary. Because even if you were to put it to $50,000, you have millionaires, if not billionaires, who go, $50,000 is not nothing to them on a regular day anyway. So it's about the human element. Make them feel embarrassed by the notion of even considering it. If you can't handle 14 days in quarantine, then don't come. Wait till it's all over and then you can come then. Simple as that. Because I don't think there will be enough monetary value to scare people away. OC, that being said, I have to be at a meeting at 10 o'clock. So I'm going to leave in the next 10 minutes at 9:45 so I can be there on time. But just to remind the public as well that we are having the grand opening of our new parliament on the 4th of December, which will be a bit of a ceremony in itself, even though I know that many people go, okay, Parliament, MLA, Parliament or Legislative Assembly, all still the same. And
because the changes come into effect when?
The changes have come into effect already as of, I think it was November the 11th that it was formally passed in the UK Parliament. So technically speaking, it will be in effect for the next time or next sitting of the Legislative Assembly, which would be the 4th. Hence the reason, the bit of the ceremonial element of it. And if you may recall, in our last sitting of the Legislative Assembly, there was a lot of speeches by every member saying that, their last day in the Legislative Assembly. So we formally will no longer... 3rd of December? Okay, well, the 3rd of December, I think at that time when we were doing the speeches, we were expecting that it come into force by the next sitting of the House. So maybe we will actually have another sitting of the House, and the Speaker will have to continue on the legislative arm. But we still have to do the opening of the new sitting of the House because this sitting will be different from the other. It's just a formality.
Yeah. So the changes actually come and take effect on the 3rd of December.
Oh, see, so it does actually come into play for the 4th. Yes, I know I was right. So the 3rd of December, we will now formally become a parliament. And therefore, there's all the ceremonial stuff, the very first sitting of the Parliament of the Cayman Islands, and that happens on the 4th. So the 4th sitting, or the sitting on the 4th, be the first one for the 2021 sitting. And that first day will just be formalities and speeches, and governor will come and all that stuff. And we actually start the proper work of the people the following Monday, which is the 7th, if my memory serves me well. And we will be dealing with a number of bills coming to the House. Don't have much time here today to discuss what they will be. But one particularly big one will be the Legal Services Bill, which is a reform of the legislation that governs our financial services industry. And as we know, the financial services industry is our number one pillar in the Cayman Islands. So it's important that bill and any changes to the laws that governs that could be catastrophic if we don't do it right. And we know that we're always under the microscope of international eyes of how we run our legal services, particularly for anti-money laundering and the like. So we're trying to improve the legal services in the Cayman Islands from the perspective of ensuring more Caymanian attorneys are beneficiaries of the industry that we created. So much of that will be focused on the development of our attorneys here, making sure they get a piece of the pie, so to speak. There is a number of other bills that are going to be coming to the LA. The citation of acts of parliament, meaning basically this law will have to be the first one to be discussed. At least I assume so, because it forces that any other laws coming after that and in the past will be acts of parliament, not bills anymore. So it'll be an act of parliament. Which does the formality of us transferring to a parliament. There's some amendments to the companies bill, companies law. There's some bill on the healthcare decisions, the legal services, as I said before, and its regulations as well. There's some changes to the penal code, private funding, legal services, property law, special economic zone amendment. There's also virtual assets, which is, believe it or not, a very, very important bill, because virtual assets is becoming a major game of our economy here in the Cayman Islands, because it has a strong industry across the world, and we're benefiting from it. So we have to make sure that the amendments and keeping that law up to date. It's just quite like the legal services, where you hear every sitting in the House, you hear some tweak to this and tweak to that of the legal services legislation to make sure we're adherence to international norms. Same thing with virtual assets, because we're coming into a brand new industry that we can take advantage of to make our economy stronger. So there's going to be a lot of tweaks, I think, within the next 3-4 years until we get a perfect, clean, functioning virtual asset law, because it's a new industry across the world. And there's some other ones. I haven't picked up those pieces of legislation yet. I'm going to have to go by the LA today, because they keep on sending them out as we go. But I think that covers most of it. This year, I'm not going to be doing much debate, because most of them I agree with, but I'm going to have some contribution, particularly for that of the legislative or legal services bill, because the significance of it. I want to start focusing my efforts on trying to help my people for Christmas. 2020 has been a very difficult year. There's a lot of people still are in need, and my team and I are working behind the scenes to try our best to see how we can assist people through the Christmas period. I would normally have a Christmas party but my team and I have decided for the safety elements of COVID-19, particularly for our seniors who we would love to invite to there, that we will not have one. I do not want to risk putting my people in harm's way, having a large gathering. So I'm not going to do that, but I'm working with my team to find out ways that we can show our appreciation for our community throughout the Christmas. I'm watching what other committees and associations are going to do about these Christmas gatherings, because I'm worried about that gathering concept. I've decided personally from our committee perspective that we will not do that, but try to assist in other ways where families and friends can enjoy their own, those assistance within their own homes and their own safety. But besides that, OC, I want to say thank you so much for allowing me on the show. As you know, earlier today we had the reps from Nicaragua and San Andres, Colombia. I'm talking about the relief there, and I want to remind the public to please do your part with that. And I will look forward to seeing you. I'm hoping that you're going to come to the ceremony, are you? On the grand opening on the 4th?
Not certain. Not certain
yet?
I haven't committed to it.
Okay, all right. Well, if I don't see you between now and then...
But I'll definitely be listening in.
All right. Well, thank you so much. I want to thank your listening audience and the lovely Miss Susan. Thank you so much. It's always a pleasure, and I'll see you next week Wednesday.
Okay. We have 2 minutes left, and before you go off mic, earlier we were talking about something, and don't want to seem to be ungrateful for all of the efforts that the government has made as far as combating the coronavirus and the assistance that they have given to people, the concessions that they have made in terms of allowing people to access, changing legislation, allowing people to access their pensions and everything. But what we can't ignore also, or we shouldn't ignore, is the fact that this time of the year would be when Caymanians would be traveling abroad to do their shopping, to do their shopping on Black Friday and other days before Christmas. Now, when you go abroad and you shop in terms of personal items that you bring back, you're allowed that concession of $500 where you do not pay any import duties on that. Now that Caymanians are restricted in their travel. Some have chosen not to travel simply because when they return, they have to go into quarantine. Some have chosen not to do so because of health reasons and whatsoever. So very few Caymanians are traveling. So we're losing out on that benefit of that $500. Many are now importing things either through consolidated companies or simply going on and registering on the customs website and doing it on their own, but missing out on that $500. Now, short period of time for the government to make any adjustments, with that, but I just really wanted to highlight that fact that we're not ungrateful, but at the same time, people are losing out on that.
Well, Lucy, I'll just add to it by saying, yes, I totally agree with you, and it would actually help with the clearing process for CDC, Customs and Distribution Center, because majority of the time taken is to administrative work of knowing what fees to collect from the tax from the average person for taxes for the government's income. I think there could have been a suggestion such as whatever the normal amount would have been for you coming through the airport, allow persons that fall underneath that value not have to go through that process other than a simple check for safety of our security of our borders, but not for the administrative for paying, because those forms is about the valuation of the property and of the assets that you're bringing in, and trying to quantify what is owed to the people of the Cayman Islands, to the government. If there's none of that needs to be done, it reduces tremendously how much time it would take to clear goods. I think that would have been a twofold. One, giving the people the benefit, keeping the money in the hands of the people so the economy can flow better, as well as speed up the process. But I can't say that's something the government is deciding to do. I would definitely reach out to the Minister, the Honorable Roy McTaggart, who I know is well aware of this because I recall it coming up in the Legislative Assembly in the last discussion. So I'll try my best to reach out to the government to see if they would respond to such a suggestion and whether they can do so in short order.
Okay.
So thank you again, OC, and
thank you
the
very much.
audience. God
All
bless.
the best to you. Stay safe as well, folks. Please stay tuned. We'll have about 10 minutes left in the show when we return from this short commercial break.
Green Turtle, modern solutions to get you through the new normal. Download the Green Turtle app now and top up yours or a loved one's phone with any mobile carrier in any destination. Home delivery of laptops, tablets, phones, accessories, and iTunes and major online retailer gift cards. And now, home deliveries of groceries and courier service. Guaranteed delivery within 2 hours from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. Visit their list of products at greenturtle.ky or download the Green Turtle app today. Green Turtle is not only the future of mobile, but today it can help save a life. Take a ride on the Green Turtle Express today. Download the Green Turtle app, the future of mobile, saving lives today.
No, man. My bill seem huge again, and I don't know what to do about it. I gotta look some help.
We can help. The Ministry of Commerce, Planning and Infrastructure has teamed up with CUC to give you the chance to win a home energy makeover worth up to $20,000. Not only will this lower your utility bills, it will increase your home's value. We are also giving away 8 home energy audits worth up to $1,900 each. Open to all homeowners in Grand Cayman. Entry is now open via www.energy.gov.ky/competition. Proudly sponsored by CEL Cooling, Mitsubishi, Phone Pros, Cooling Pros, and more. Use less, save more. Enter today. It's time to buy smart. It's time to buy Ropers. Find everything for your home and kitchen at low prices. Ropers. Appliances, dishware, bulk foods, and so much more. With huge savings, Ropers is stocked for your hurricane supplies. Don't cut back on your needs. Cut back on your spending with Ropers. Your neighborhood store. Value, integrity. Ropers Enterprises. 122 Industrial Way. Call 949-2511. Clean up your spending with Ropers. Ropers, providing products and services for better public health.
Santa came early this year. Get ready for the best Black Friday sales event at Penha, MAC Cosmetics, and Victoria's Secret. From November 26th through November 28th, amazing savings on fragrances, cosmetics, accessories, and apparels. Start your Christmas shopping early and save big. Penha Perfumes and Cosmetics on 40 Cardinal Avenue, Georgetown.
Don't miss Fat Chance on Radio Cayman every Wednesday night at 7:30 p.m. starting November 18th until December 23rd, with a repeat of each week's episode airing every Saturday at 6:45 p.m. beginning on November 21st and ending on December 26th. Fat Chance. Fat Chance is a comedy everyone can relate to. Henpeck Dexter is back with his wife Corinne and his mother-in-law who is living with the couple. The universal theme is be careful what you wish for, as you just may get it.
For the record, with Ort Connor.
Initiating system.
For information that matters. For the record, with Ort Connor. Continues right now on Radio Cayman.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. No guests in the studio. We do have a caller on hold. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Good morning, Mr. O.C.
Good morning, sir.
I'm sorry I missed Mr. Bryan, but first I'd just like to say that one of your long-time listeners, a well-known person here who was called into your, I'm very interested in it too, in your show, has passed away. Everybody knows him as Toots, but of course his real name is John Richards.
Yes.
Toots. Very, very close personal friend. My brother Ernest and I, 51 years now. So, they're very saddened by it, but he wasn't well for the last nearly a year, but especially the last 3 months. 3 months and just 2 or 3 weeks until he passed. So I just
it's so sad to hear that. Yeah, he and I were, we connected real well. Yes.
Love to ride. He was riding
Yes.
up about 6 weeks ago. He was riding.
That's correct.
Right. And he loved, how to remember like a computer. He remembered many things whenever he would call me and say, Mix, that person was really not a cousin, it would be like a second cousin. And he knew, he's talking about people in Georgetown, SB, East End, Northside, Bordentown. Many things, interesting things to went through. Yeah, I remember, especially when I was in the rent-a-car business and so forth. What you're talking about early on with the Nicaraguan and so forth, a very close relationship there with Caymanians. Many Caymanians have gone over there, and their children, grandchildren, great-grandchildren even born over there. And Honduras, many Hurlstons. And the old man Eden, who built the Peter St. James, or Peter Castle, we call it, that's really died in about 1802 is the closest I can come to information in Pearl Lagoon there. So he ended up dying, going there from about 1793 or so. And died there. There's several Edens who live over there. Remember, they used to come over in the old days before when you could travel and just come and live families. And now it's changed. I think with the British Nationality Act, you have to get visas and permits. People whose parents are born here, it's a very close connection, and now they're in dire straits with this. The islands there, Providencia, and the other famous one there too, almost wiped off the map. I think when we are talking about the COVID transmissions and all that, he's quite right that we can't break the rules and break the laws of people and not suffer the consequences, especially in something so serious. But what I think we're going to have to come to grips with eventually, we know that we can't shut down forever because tremendous amounts of our money is made by people coming in. I mean, we really have no factories, no mills.
We will open up when it is safe to do so.
We will open up eventually. It's not an option. We have to. One of the things I just like to say is...
Very quickly, caller, very quickly.
Yeah, there is a possibility that you'll always find one or two positive cases going forward even for a few years. So there will be a balancing act that there is a certain amount of risk. It's a risk.
But we will have the vaccine then, hopefully.
Yeah,
an effective vaccine or several of them.
One. So we can do it gradually, but I just like to say to people that there is a possibility that you'll have that for a couple of years going forward, one or two cases. We noticed that 90% or much higher than that are asymptomatic. So it means that it is not going to be something where people are going to be dropping down or falling down or something like this. Hopefully that won't happen. But going forward, you will have to expect maybe one or two cases now and then.
Exactly.
So
Caller?
I wanted to say that.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir.
All right. Thank you very much. Just want to share this with you. 25th of November, 1965, and I hope that people will see the irony of this whole thing. In the Tradewinds newspaper, 25th of November, 1965, one of our Caymanians, Mr. Meredith Shillette, wrote, "Please publish this open letter to our Canadian visitors. Dear Canadians, Grand Cayman wishes to extend to you their sincerest welcome. I am sure that every effort of the management and employees of all businesses has been concentrated to make your sojourn here most pleasant and memorable. That was in 1965. Cayman Compass today, 25th of November 2020, 55 years later. Canadian couple breaches or protocols fined in the courts, transferred to a government facility. The people of the Cayman Islands deserve an apology. I do believe that we have an honorary Canadian Council here in the Cayman Islands, and I would urge that representative to make a public apology on behalf of the people and the government of Canada to the people and the government of the Cayman Islands for the egregious act that was committed by their nationals here in the Cayman Islands and potentially exposing our residents to possible COVID-19. We urge you to do that. In 1965, we welcomed you here. We continue to welcome you here. We have an expectation that you will follow the laws, abide by the laws of the Cayman Islands. And when you don't, we will out you, because while we do depend on you as tourists for our economy and our survival, we're not depending on you for our death. We don't want you to contribute to our death. And that potentially is what those persons expose us to. So, Honorary Canadian Council, please issue an apology, a sincere apology to the people of the Cayman Islands, because in 1965, Mr. Meredith Shillette wrote in the Tradewinds newspaper welcoming Canadians here. And we continue to welcome you, but we expect you to abide by our rules and our regulations. Folks, I want to thank you for allowing Radio Cayman, and by extension For the Record, into your homes, into your vehicles, as you traverse the busy roads of the Cayman Islands, into your places of work, wherever that may be. I also want to remind you that we are our brothers and our sisters' keepers. There is always someone out there who's less fortunate than we are, and I ask you to extend a helping hand to them. If you can't do that, then I suggest you donate to a worthy charity, because we always want to consider those who need, not necessarily those who want or even those who crave. So I say to you, have a great day. Continue to support your radio station, Radio Cayman. Join Sterling Dwayne Banks at 12:15 for Talk Today. And as usual, we ask the good Lord to bless these three beautiful, wonderful Cayman Islands.
For the Record is brought to you by Vamped Motors, the only authorized Ford and Toyota dealership serving the Cayman Islands. Cayman Pharmacy Group, with a location in West Bay and professional pharmacy at CTMH Doctors Hospital. The Cayman Pharmacy Group has a location for you just around the corner. Seaboard Marine, with over 35 shipping ports, find your shipping solution by calling 949-4977 or visit seaboardmarine.com for competitive rates. Coca-Cola, available across the Cayman Islands from Tortuga Distributors. Accept no substitutes. Taste the feeling with Coca-Cola. Brand Source Home Gallery, inspiring luxury. And Fidelity Bank. Fidelity, we're good for you.
Also brought to you by Ropers Enterprises, 122 Industrial Way. Products and services for better public health. Green Turtle. Take a ride on the Green Turtle Express today. Download the Green Turtle app, the future of mobile, saving lives today. And the Ministry of Commerce, Planning and Infrastructure. Visit energy.gov.ky/competition to win a home energy makeover worth up to $20,000.